Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have W.T. Hamilton, multi-time award-winning author, mindset coach, and entrepreneur specializing in helping his clients take their million-dollar ideas and turning them into amazing products and services. Welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thank you, AJ. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to discuss right now. We'll be talking about how you can achieve your personal impossibles. But before we come to the discussion this, I want to understand a bit about your journey, Wayne, for the audience so that they know directly from you who they are listening to.
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I write books about mindset and how to use mindset for success. And really, I got started way back in around 2008. I was working in a job that I really loved. And then all of a sudden, there was a housing crisis. And as you know, the stock market in the US, it crashed. And a lot of businesses went out of business, including the company I was working for. And at that moment, I realized I wasn't really in charge of my career. I wasn't in charge of my income, and I wasn't in charge of anything that I could do to really take charge of my life. So I started to say to myself, what do I need to do to be able to take charge of my life? And the first thing I realized is that I got to be able to initiate things and then put them into action. And by understanding that, I started to discover there's personal impossibles, things that I think I can't do, that I really can do if I learn how to start initiating those things. So that's really my background story, and that got me into writing and really sharing the things that were working and the things that weren't working, and how to take the things that are working and then multiply them and build up on them.
Wonderful, wonderful, Wayne. So now let's come to this whole about achieving personal impossibles. What are these personal impossibles that you talk about?
So it's really things that you could do, but you don't believe that you can do, but other people are already doing them. So for me, it was writing books, it was speaking on stage, it was taking out my ideas and learning how to turn them into profit centers, income streams. And it was things that other people were doing, but I always thought, okay, I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't have the right education, the right background. I always had all these reasons why I couldn't do something. But then I would see other people that were at the same level as me at the beginning, and then they would take off and they would start to achieve these things. So I said, okay, these aren't impossibles. They're just my personal impossibles. And there's things in my mindset and in my skills and my attitudes that are holding me back. If I can solve those, I'll be able to do the same thing other people are doing and maybe more.
Right, right, Wayne. So why is it that some people think, okay, this is difficult to me, but they also see others doing it? What is it that they have and these people don't? I want to understand it a bit more, because not only, even sometimes I can feel it. I know myself. So many a times you think, and then once you break that barrier, it's easy. But before that, the whole world looks to be going ahead, and you are just watching them go by.
Yeah, so there's a couple of key factors. One of them is, so we want to do things that are easy for us, that we're comfortable doing, because we don't want to fail. So the people that actually try to do their personal impossibles, the first thing they know is they're going to fail. They're not going to be good at it the first time they try, the second time they try. There's learning. Like, there's things that you don't know how to do that other people already know how to do, but they had to learn that stuff. So the first thing that we do is start to look at, okay, what is it I'm trying to do? And understand it's not going to be easy. And then the second thing that holds us back, holds everybody back, is building up confidence. And that's a really hard one to do, because no matter how many people tell you, you got to build up your confidence. It comes from inside, and nobody can teach you how to build confidence inside. They can show you the steps. Like, I show people the steps of how to take the little wins and recognize even the small, tiny wins, that's something that's moving you forward, and that starts to build up your confidence. But building up the confidence to be able to do something, not having the fear of struggling, and then understanding you don't got to be perfect. You don't have to know everything to get started, because a lot of people feel like they don't know enough, so they're always gathering more information, more information, more information. They don't have a plan of, okay, what do I do once I figure out I know what I'm doing? Now I wonder, how do I take action? And that's the, I guess, the last piece. Once you start to build up your confidence and you feel like you got the skills, taking action. And that holds people back. A lot of people, they never take that last step of taking the action.
Right, right, Wade. So, in terms of confidence, you said it is from inside. That's how you. How do you look at both confidence and mindset? Are they the same thing? Are they different things? Or which comes first?
So I think mindset is things where you can can build habits, and you can start to understand how you think, and then how people that are very successful at things think. But the confidence is the action part. Is, do you really believe in yourself that you can turn this thing into something bigger than what it looks like on paper? And so the confidence is finding that little win. Sometimes it's somebody telling you that you did a good job, but a lot of times you have to tell yourself, hey, I'm doing a good job. Hey, I plan to do this today. I plan to get up in the morning. I plan to do an interview, and then I plan to do this next step. And if you do those things that day, that was a successful day for you. And if you start to build up the confidence that, yeah, that was successful for me. Maybe it's not in other people's eyes, because maybe that day you didn't make any money, but you started to build the habits, and you start to feel like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm adding value, and people should start to understand what I'm doing because they're going to benefit. That's how you start to build the confidence inside. But it can't be based on, a lot of people, it's based on what your coach says or what your partner says or what somebody else, if they're giving you permission. But the confidence is, you have to give yourself permission to actually build your dream. So it's great to have a dream, but you have to actually start to build it, put the pieces into place.
Right, right, Wayne. Now, as a mindset coach,
Yeah.
what do people generally come to you for? How do you help them? You come from a different background. How you yourself coached yourself towards success? I want to see that part, and then the client's part. How do you assimilate it together?
Yeah. So the first thing I do is I look at what is it that they want to do, because they always have a goal, and the goal usually is to make more money. And so it's like, okay, so what is it that you're trying to make more money in? Is it a product or is it a service? So once we figure out what piece they're looking for, then I start to understand, okay, what are your habits? What skills and talents do you already have? And those things are the building blocks. That's the foundation. And then I start to look at, okay, what is your timeline? Like, are you thinking you're going to do this in 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days? Because my program takes more than 90 days. So if you're looking for this instant magical, thing, I don't have that. I'm going to show you how to consistently and persistently build it up, and we're gonna climb that staircase to success. So I don't have the elevator to success, but I'm going to show you the staircase. So a lot of people, the thing that they want to do, which is where everybody starts really, is, I need more money. I need to start creating an income stream besides my full-time job. I need this extra money, and it might be $100, it might be $1,000, whatever it is. I need to start generating that extra money. So then we start to look at, what are the skills that you have? What are the actions that you're willing to take? And how quickly are you willing to start working on the things that you're not good at? And then I look at their confidence, because by doing all of that, and then I can see where they're confident in and what they're not. And I can start to show them how to use their talents to achieve their goal, to achieve their personal impossible.
Right, right, Wayne. Now let's come to you have written a couple of books, and the promise and the harsh truths, and creator of the world's first one chapter book series, helping driven entrepreneurs solve business problems. one chapter book at a time. And now the new book is about manifesting your goals and dreams. So let's talk about a bit about this manifesting the goals and dreams part. A
Yeah.
lot of people nowadays talk about manifestation,
Yeah.
and at that point in time they think, okay, let's think something, manifest something,
Yeah.
and the universe will give an answer to that. And do not think about how it will happen, just manifest it. Try to. We just talked about the action part. So
Yeah.
how do you two do both the things at the same time, not thinking about anything, and but the action has to be done. So and then you have to get down to the action. You have to think about all the resources, everything. Then only you will be able to move towards your dream. So how do we balance these two things? Tell us a bit about your book also. What you have dealt. Who is this book for?
Yeah. So the book is about manifesting in this 3D reality. And so one of the things I realized is when I started looking at how I was successful at in these different areas, I realized that I was, bending and rewriting the rules of 3D using like my innerverse, using the inside, the imagination, and that we have the skill. We're the only species on the planet that has the skill of being able to imagine something and then make it become a tangible reality. So manifesting really is you're putting out a request. Here's what I want to do. Here's the experience that I want to have, or the goal that I want to achieve. And then the waiting part is because like we live in a shared reality and there's linear time. So some things have to fall into place behind the scenes before you can take action. So the waiting part is waiting for the prompt, waiting for what is the next action. Like me wanting to promote the books, the first thing I had to think about is, okay, now I had the books out there, I got the reviews, I put them into the book clubs and got reviews. Now I want to start going on podcasts. So once I put that in my mind that I wanted to go on podcasts, I started receiving opportunities to go on podcast shows. And I also started reaching out to podcast shows. But before I had that in my mind, podcast shows didn't know I was around. But also I had to have the podcast show that was looking for guests. So when those two things converged, and it was about linear time, when they converged, the action part was, okay, now I have to book these interviews and show up for the interviews. So to manifest, the manifestation unfolds by giving you prompts. So you put out requests and then you wait for that inspired action. But as soon as that inspired action hits, you have to do something with it. Because if you don't, you're always going to be sitting waiting for something to happen. And then you're going to realize in reflection later on, oh, I missed out on that opportunity. That was an answer to one of the things I wanted to do, but I didn't take action on it and it passed me by. It'll come back in time, but it might not happen right away because you didn't take the inspired action when you should have. And that a lot of that is because you don't have the confidence to move, or it's not the thing that you really wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to manifest with ease and not have to put any work in. And the universe is saying, no, if you want this, you have to do this first. Or if you want this, you have to go through this journey, because maybe you don't have all the skills or you don't have the experience, and you need to experience this thing so that when you go to teach it, you have the proper experience and insight to be able to share with people.
Right, right. So how is it that some people who do not believe in any of these things, without manifesting, or I don't know if they do it or not, they are quite successful in whatever they do, and they keep on achieving things. And those people who keep on actually looking at the universe, trying to do work, they are not able to achieve. Why does it happen like that?
Because when you get too deep into manifesting, and you're looking at the simplicity of it, because it's very simple, right? You think it, you put some mental action into it, and you can actually receive it. That's kind of the simple part of it. But really, the people that don't really believe in manifesting, they're setting a goal, and then they're looking at ways to take action to make that goal become a reality. So in manifesting, it's the same thing. The only difference is you have this tool, this mental tool that maybe other people don't have, where you understand that you can start to put that idea into detail inside your mind, and that detail kind of gives you the blueprint of the things that you're supposed to do. But no matter what, either you're into manifestation or you don't believe in it, action is the thing that has to happen for anything to happen, because we don't live in a bubble. We live in a shared reality. So we have to work with other people, and working with other people means you have to take action on things. You have to initiate things. You have to sometimes join somebody else's journey to help build your journey. So I think with manifestation, it's like it's the easy, I can just sit back and do nothing, just think, and everything's going to fall into my lap. And that's just not only is that's not the way things go, but that would really be boring if that's how things go. If you just sit in your house and everything kind of works out for you and you don't have to do anything, that would be a very boring and unexciting life.
Absolutely. So, when is this book already out, or is going to come out? What's the name? Is it the same name? Tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah. So the book is called Exertam Actuality, and it is out right now. And it's basically it's about the hidden realities of being able to manifest, and some of the hidden knowledge. So the book Exertam Actuality, the title is like a word puzzle. So the actual meaning of the word is not exertam, but it's a word puzzle, because the whole book is about discovering things that you didn't realize were in place. Like linear time, a lot of people don't realize that linear time is just to be able to synchronize all these individual realities so that you can actually manifest your goal to the full potential of it by having little pauses. And there's a lot of insight in there, like hidden knowledge, how hidden knowledge works, how you your imagination has different levels, and there's different levels that you have to achieve to really open up your imagination to be able to dream big. Because sometimes we think we're dreaming big, but it's really just small tasks that are big for us at the time. But once we achieve them, it's like, oh, I could do a lot more with this than what I thought. So the book is really goes deep into manifesting and some of the hidden realities of a manifestation.
Wonderful. So, a lot of people would certainly be interested about all these things about manifestation, about your book, and all those things that you teach as a mindset coach. So, what is the best way for them to connect with you when?
So I have a website, mindsetforsuccesstraining.com. I'm on Amazon. So I have all my books on Amazon. And then Instagram, if you go w.t.hamilton on Instagram, I have the links to my Amazon page, and you can DM me and ask questions. I'm available to help people with small things. And then if you need coaching, then we also can look at that and talk about that.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
And thank you too, AJ. I had a good time.